have a quote here from the Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City website. It says, one of Major League Soccer's most unlikable teams visits Mercy Park this Saturday. What's your reaction? A little bulletin board material here, which is sometimes a good thing, right?
It must be. We're an unlikable team because we've won so many trophies and other teams don't like that.
No doubt.
That's some PR, right? That's not Peter. Peter wouldn't do that.
Peter's had a rough go here.
Yeah.
How do you avoid, in football it's a trap game. How do you avoid the trap game?
Well, we've been pretty good on the road. It's number one. More road wins than home wins. So, it's a confident team, our team. I think we have been playing a little better as of late. The results certainly at home were disappointing. Was a gut check, after the RSL loss. That was hard emotionally. But they seem to be back at it. We've messaged about closing out games. Trained a little bit about that, so we'll be ready for them.
Do you need to set the tone early? Do you need to do something early that you maybe a little out of character or something? But to sort
it doesn't matter. Timely goals, yes. Sometimes an early goal followed up by a second one puts you in a good driver's seat. Sometimes the early goal evaporates if the home team's getting on top of you. Goals coming right out of halftime. Those are good. Timing of the goals, yes, but taking the lead certainly is critical. I think the stats in MLS will bear that out.
Brian, on that note, it looked like you were practicing possession with the purpose and then recognizing when to go forward.
Which part of the training?
Just
this last part?
There, yeah, I heard you say with the goal. I don't want to give out your seat, but just to point out.
Well, the last exercise was, I made three guys captains and let them take over the tactics and helping them solve their own problems. So, Albert, Raul, JP, those guys needed to dictate what they wanted to do in the games. And, sometimes we can't, we don't have a joystick, we don't have timeouts, football, we don't have plays, baseball has innings. Those guys got to solve stuff on their own. So that was the exercise for today.
And how important is that? You talked about it, the execution. In terms of
execution is critical. But we got a good team, Oz. We got a good team. Plenty of confidence in the guys. We just got to execute plays more often.
We saw Nathan out there. Is he getting close to return?
He's still away. JB's still ahead of him. But Nathan and those guys have started to integrate themselves in various parts of training.
You say JB's close. Is he available this week? Or
Jonathan Bell?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but he's closer to Nathan.
Okay.
JB was out there too for the first time, partaking in the warm-up.
On the radio the other day, you said something along the lines of, if Pedro gets hurt again, we're going to have to shelve him for the season. Is that something to be taken literally, or is that were you more emphasizing the idea that you need to keep him healthy?
I was emphasizing the idea of just trying to keep him healthy. I mean, look, the best example, and I believe it was 2017, I'm not sure about that, but Jordan Morris did his hamstring really bad, and it was a season-long thing, and I think I even played him 20 minutes in the final or something like that because, we had made it all the way through to the final, but that's what we want to avoid with De La Vega. So if we bring him back too early and he redoes his hamstring, there is the risk, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's a risk of, a damaged hamstring. If you re-damage it one more time, that's what I was talking about.
Ryan, how difficult has it been to know that in the past the Sounders have always provided teams with national team players, and in this window we literally only had 2 people get called out? Is that indicative of the development and the stalling of the development of some of the younger players?
Not sure if I understand the question, but I'll take a stab at it. So the development of younger players is a little different than having, guys come in that have signed that were national team guys already. So Albert's part of Slovakia, Christian Jordan. Yeah, maybe Jordan was development. Maybe he developed to a national team player. Alex with, that, Jordy DeLem, Jovan Jones, some of the guys over the years, some of the bigger names, Clint. I think the club's always had big players, and big players sometimes play on their national teams. And do we still have some of those guys in the fringes? Yeah. Raul was even, a couple years ago still in the fringe with Peru. So I'm not so sure it's youth development. I know kind of where you're going with that, but I think it's just this is the roster, and I actually don't mind that only 2 guys left.
Brian, I'm not sure if you've been asked this already, but without Jay Bell and Stu out, has there been a little bit more of a maybe talk or emphasis with Josh about maybe being an emergency center back in case there's a need for it?
Yeah, we've talked about Josh, and we're going to bring Tino Lopez with us to Kansas City, so he's excited. But yeah, we've got cover at center back.
And how would you assess your play of your back line in the last 4 or 5 games?
Yeah, it's been okay up until the moments, a couple of critical moments, but that's not only on the back line. But, we had Nuhu had a duel, Ymar had a duel. I know it deflected off him, went funny. Alex was marking a guy. But yeah, defense has been pretty good still.
Are you not getting the pressure from your forwards, giving the other team too much possession?
It's always the other half of it.
Yeah.
I can complain about the defenders not winning challenges, but somebody could have pressed higher up the field. Maybe they don't cross it. Maybe they pass it sideways.
How far away is Leo Chu?
He's coming on the trip.
We don't know about time, play, anything like that.
If I need him, I'm going to put him on the field.
And then with Sporting KC last year, at home, they came to
Yeah.
your place with a 10-game.
Gave him a lifeline.
Yeah.
Gave him a lifeline.
Does that resonate, that kind of lesson?
It's still there.
Yeah.
I still think back to, some of the battles we've had against Sporting KC. It's been a good rivalry. I know Peter will have his team ready, but I'd love to go there and get 3 points.
How would you describe Alex Roldan's performance this season, and his demeanor, where he's grown, just in general senses?
It's been good. I mean, look, he was a late bloomer, but starting right back on a top-end MLS team, he's been good.
And to go a little bit off of the Sounders, I just wanted to get your take on Columbus and getting beat by Pachuca. How does that feel? What's does it feel good? I mean, is it not?
I was rooting for Columbus. I'll tell you that, because I want the gap, if there's a gap between Liga MX and MLS, to shrink. I would have loved to seen Wilfred get his team over the line. I don't know what happened with the caterers, but we are still the only team that's in the modern era, won it.
Do you remember being wary of anything in the hotel when you were in Mexico City? Or?
We had our own recipes, our own food. We took care of all the logistics.
Boss, why don't you close this out?
Thanks. Thank you. Ryan, one more tactical question, just in terms of Peter Vermes' team attacks. So in your possession basis, you've told us, but is there an opportunity on the counterattack then to play defense and try to?
For us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, we'll try and extend our possessions away from home in the heat. But if they push us back, because they're a good team, then yes, we'll get out after them in transition. Last time we played there, we won 4-1. There were a couple of transition goals in that game. So we'll see if we can replicate that.